This is the story of a boy named Daud Campbell, who unexpectedly finds himself at the center of a strange conflict. All the girls around him are fighting to marry him. He takes a deep breath as he stands on the threshold of departure, reflecting on the bizarre chain of events that brought him here. It all began with a survival game, Savior Rising, that thrust him into a world he now has to navigate. At first, the game felt familiar, even fun. He cleared it with a sense of accomplishment, only to wake up the next day inside the very world he had just played through. It doesn't make sense, and the thought gnaws at him, but there's no point in cursing fate. The game hadn't targeted him, and he had no real attachment to the protagonist. Yet here he is, trapped in the body of Daud Campbell, a powerless nobody, a third-rate extra. The Campbell Viscounty, his origin, is a modest farming region scattered with a few minor dungeons across the empire. These details were barely mentioned in the Savior Rising film adaptation, making his identity as a Viscount's son a strange twist. For someone like him to enter the elite Imperial Academy is no small matter, it turns the world upside down. And now, as he sets out for the academy, everything begins. His father looks at him, eyes brimming with tears, and asks if he's truly leaving. Dodd smiles and confirms that he is. During the farewell, his father tells him earnestly that he's the pride of their family, wishing him well and urging him to take care. He warns Dodd not to cause trouble at the Elephant Academy, where the nobility gather, and advises him to stay out of the spotlight. After saying goodbye, he checks his status: strength, agility, endurance, luck, and authority, all rated F. He has no skills, proficiencies, or special gift. He reflects seriously, even experienced players would find such a low start laughable. Still, he knows what must be done. His mission is to enter the academy and be assigned to a class. If he fails, the academy will spiral into chaos under the villains' violence. He decides to keep a low profile, avoid attention, and not try to raise his family's standing. He reassures his father once more, then embarks on this new chapter, wondering whether the game's main character will handle things alone. But he quickly realizes survival in this world requires staying invisible. His academy life has just begun, and he's determined to get through it. On the way, he notices a beautiful girl sitting across from him, sipping tea. He watches her, puzzled why she's riding in the same carriage. As he looks closer, he recognizes her, Elnor, feared by all, the final enemy of the game. Only the main character can confront her after reaching peak strength. Suddenly, she turns to him with a serious look, asking why he hasn't responded, if he's curious about something. He quickly smiles, saying she seems kind and beautiful. She's taken aback and asks if they've met before or if he's heard rumors. Flustered, he stammers that he only heard she's tough. She dismisses it, calling him strange. He grins, saying people often say the same about him, then turns his gaze to the window. The scenery is beautiful, but his peace is broken when he sees a boulder rolling toward the carriage. Shocked, he apologizes to her and throws himself forward to shield her. As he does, her necklace glows with strange light. He notes it's always with her. But even with this act, he doubts he'll survive. With his stats, it feels impossible. Suddenly, he wakes in a new position. Her voice reaches him, asking if he's okay. Realizing he landed on her, he quickly apologizes. Calmly, she tells him not to worry, thanking him. It's the first time a man has approached her like that. She understands his intention and says there's no need to apologize. He's stunned, knowing he only leapt at her to use her armor for cover. She then asks for his name. He hesitates but gives it. She smiles, promising not to forget and that she'll repay him. Then, a system notification appears. He has gained the interest of a villain, and the conditions for a special gift are met. He is granted 2 new skills: Desperate Survival and Deadly Charm. He is stunned. Was this triggered by the elephant train journey or something else? Meanwhile, doctors examine the wounded. Thanks to special security, casualties are low. Just as Dodd is thinking about Elnor, another system notification pops up. He has received a new special gift, Fated Attraction. The system explains, the more interest he gains from individuals with unique traits, the more diverse the rewards. He's stunned, muttering that he still doesn't understand what's going on. He recalls that in Campbell Viscounty, no one is neutral, everyone is involved. He wonders if his true gift has unlocked yet and considers checking. Reviewing his stats, he sees the 2 skills. Desperate Survival boosts his stats during critical danger. Deadly Charm helps him gain favor with unique individuals. He considers their implications. Desperate Survival might save him in combat, while Deadly Charm could complicate things. Another system prompt confirms it's easier to attract people with extreme personalities. He's shocked. He remembers the game's unique characters, warriors driven by bloodlust, mages lost in obsession, dangerous mercenaries. These weren't ordinary people, they were divine or unstable, capable of killing within moments. He wonders if it's wise to focus on gaining skills to survive instead. Strangely, his skill ranks are listed with unfamiliar evil tier names. He can't understand them. Lost in thought, he notices the doctor watching him. The doctor asks if he needs a detailed checkup. Dodd politely declines. Soon after, they arrive at their destination. The academy leader greets them, praising the exceptional new students. Dodd recalls the doctor's earlier remark about his traveling with the Tristan princess. The doctor notes he's the son of a viscount with no known ties to her. He adds that he's an alumnus of Elfant and belongs to an unknown noble family. With a serious tone, he asks Dodd if he truly believes the boulder was an accident, targeting only their carriage out of many. Dodd is taken aback. The doctor warns that there are many enemies of the Tristans and Dukes. He advises Dodd to stay away from high-ranking nobles for his own safety. At that moment, another notification appears. A trust-related event with Elnor is set for D2. With a sense of despair, Dodd reflects, whether he likes it or not, he's already caught up in a world full of sharp, calculating players. It's no surprise he could end up the final enemy. Just being near someone like Elnor could mean death. His thoughts are interrupted by someone shouting his name. A group mocks him for spacing out. They call him a country boy and say everyone's already chosen rivals for spring. After the entrance ceremony, real competition begins. They mention his rival is already decided. Dodd panics and runs toward them, saying he didn't want to compete. But he realizes that with everyone else paired up, the only one left must be the strongest. As he runs, he stumbles, and a stunning girl suddenly appears, offering him a hand. He's speechless. It's Elia Crixanax, the greatest genius in the world. She smiles warmly and asks if he needs help. Dodd is stunned. This girl who will someday become his savior is standing right before him. The scene shifts to a quiet room where a woman sits in silence, pondering the implications and wondering if she's gone mad. She informs her companions that the entrance duels are about to begin and, with curiosity, asks when Lady Tristan will arrive. Just then, Lady Tristan enters the room. The woman calmly asks where she has been and says they need to talk. Tristan casually explains she was finishing some work. The woman, taken aback, sighs in disbelief. She apologizes and says it seems they need to address some matters first. With concern, she asks if anyone has died. Tristan answers in a composed manner, saying not many, just about 12, had died. She explains they had tried to assassinate her. They dropped 2 boulders on the academy training area to make it look like an accident, but she discovered their true identities, and since she was nearby, she dealt with them. The woman listens and then calmly suggests she should have left such matters to the school. She mentions that if Tristan leaves now, she'll have a chance to face Elia Crixanax, the genius, and Daud Campbell. At the mention of his name, Tristan is shocked and presses for more information about him. The woman notices her reaction and asks how she knows him, explaining that while he seemed unremarkable at first, he's actually quite strange. The scene shifts again, this time to the battlefield. Daud Campbell stands trembling, gripping his sword. Behind him, people mockingly shout for him to go back to his village. Seasoned fighters question how many moves he'll last, with some noting his luck in avoiding injury so far. But as the moments pass, a sense of belief starts to grow. He wonders if this might work in his favor. It's dangerous, but he has nothing left to lose. He checks his system stats. The skill Desperate Survival is ranked, and the system informs him his stats increase during moments of dire need, based on danger levels. Watching the crowd with grim determination, he reminds himself that the villains he must face may be among these nobles. If he survives, he might gain their attention. With this knowledge, he begins to believe survival is possible. Suddenly, Elia speaks, catching him off guard. She bluntly asks if he's truly that weak. Speechless, his mind races with pressure. She says she planned to beat him badly, but seeing how fragile he looks, she might reconsider. She takes a breath and says she saw him with Lady Tristan. She admits her hatred, not just for Tristan, but for her entire house, calling them demons. He listens, realizing this isn't a simple student rivalry. It's a deep family conflict. He clarifies that he merely shared a room with Tristan in passing. She reacts sharply, saying he reminds her of Tristan and irritates her, which is why she was going to hurt him. But now, she proposes pretending to fight. He considers his options and admits the idea is tempting, but if he doesn't get stronger in the next 2 days, he's doomed. The only path to survival is to make himself noticed now. He tells her to go all out. Then, testing fate, he adds that he actually likes Tristan. Shocked, she asks if he's serious. She raises her sword in anger. Internally, he knows he's lying, but it's the only way to push her. He declares, he's just as serious as her hatred. A system notification flashes, deadly charm activated. The villain's interest spikes, and a reward is added to his gift tab. Hearing him, she says she won't hold back anymore. With a fierce glare, she charges, swinging her sword with full force. He barely dodges. She pauses, surprised he evaded it, and warns she'll come at him harder. The system triggers again. Desperate survival activated, X rank. Seizing the moment, he throws a powerful punch, striking her and knocking her back as a flash lights up the battlefield. The crowd is stunned. Daud Campbell, ranked F in every stat, has just knocked down the central character of this world. The scene cuts to an emergency meeting at Elfin Academy. Professors are deep in discussion. One suggests Dodd may be a skilled con artist. The others are shocked by the drastic shift in perception. A senior professor, composed, reminds them Dodd showed no combat ability before the duel, yet somehow defeated Elia Crixanax. They all agree the attack was real. A female professor questions what real means. The senior explains that no one could walk away from such a blow unaffected, not even him. He says there's no way someone with Dodd's stats could beat a future war general like Elia. He speculates Dodd may have used an illegal item or outside help. But then suggests another possibility. Dodd might be a rare genius. The female professor nods. It's hard to accept without proof. Elia's sponsor won't stay silent. The academy faces a risk. Ignoring someone with Dodd's potential could be costly. After more discussion, the female professor calmly states that time will tell if Dodd is a fraud or something else. Her colleague asks what she means. She replies that this year's incoming students are unlike any before, so unique they demand special attention. If Dodd is one of them, she believes he'll play a key role in the academy's future. Meanwhile, Dodd's face appears in newspapers under breaking headlines. The world is watching. Some speculate he's the Royal Knight Commander's secret son or the Academy's greatest ever talent. A system notification flashes. Gift update. Character info upgraded. Eleanor Tristan's relationship level rises to 2. A reward is now available. More notifications follow. Baron Armit Community level 2, 100 points. Viscount Lupin level 1, 50 points. Viscount Ground level 3, 140 points. He reflects. This is how the system works. Community, then interest, then trust. Scrolling, he's surprised to find Eleanor has the highest interest level. He wonders why the game's final boss is now so focused on him. Another notification confirms he's receiving gift rewards from her. Then he's granted access to the Tristan sword technique via crates. His eyes widen. This technique belongs to the House Tristan, renowned for its swordsmanship. Another notification. Elia's community level has reached 4, but no rewards are available. This unsettles him. Gifts come from villains with positive interest. Elia fits neither category. Lost in thought, a knock at his door startles him. A voice asks if this is his room. It sounds familiar. The person politely requests to come in. He's stunned. Frustrated, he considers ignoring her. But her voice hardens. She warns she'll break the door down. He yells back, asking if she's lost her mind. Confirming his presence, she politely asks again to talk. Still behind the door, he asks what this is about. She calmly replies that she just wants them to understand each other a little better. Elia walks away. She acted impulsively, chasing someone who clearly didn't want her around. She realizes how pathetic she must have seemed, trying to force a friendship when he hadn't even acknowledged her presence. There's something unsettling about the boy, something that leaves her confused and introspective. Becoming friends with someone like him isn't easy. Lost in thought, she unexpectedly bumps into Eleanor. The force knocks the packets she's holding to the ground. Without looking up, Elia instinctively picks them up. As she does, Eleanor speaks in a calm but firm voice, noting that Elia should have been more careful and asking if she's hurt. Before Elia can respond, Eleanor glances at her face. In that instant, memories come rushing back, her brother telling her to run. A cold shiver runs down her spine as anger rises. She trembles slightly, unsure what to do. Her hand instinctively reaches for her sword. Eleanor's calm demeanor seems strange, she doesn't seem to sense the threat. She extends her hand for the packets, still showing no concern. Elia watches her carefully, her mind racing. Maybe Eleanor is so confident she doesn't even see Elia as a threat. Finally, Elia hands the packets back, still deep in thought. She wonders if Eleanor is subtly saying she's harmless, but the thought passes as her mind shifts to Dodd. She's baffled that he's somehow connected to someone like Eleanor. As she walks away, she casually mentions that turning right at the end of the hallway will lead to Daud Campbell's room. Eleanor stops her and sharply asks how she knows that. Confused by the hostility, Elia calmly smiles and replies she was only trying to befriend the new students. Eleanor's expression hardens. She declares that mingling with the opposite gender is forbidden for new students. Elia, surprised, asks if such a rule had ever been mentioned before. Eleanor flatly replies that she just made it, and from now on, Elia is not allowed to visit his room. Elia formally addresses her as president and apologetically asks what her relationship with him is. Walking away, Eleanor answers that he means nothing to her, but warns her to remember everything she just said. Elia's mind churns with this new information. She recalls Dodd's words about his feelings for Tristan. There's more between them than she realized. She resolves to stay close to him, if only to learn more. The scene shifts to the class assignment exam, designed to evaluate every aspect of a student's ability. Dodd is placed in the highest ranked group, thanks to his duel victory. Scanning the crowd, his eyes land on Elia, smiling at him. His thoughts turn serious. The exam isn't his biggest problem, it's her. He had just managed to push her away, yet here she is again, in the same group. The system sends him a notification. Elia's curiosity level has reached 5. He remembers a letter and snacks left for him the night before, wishing him luck. The announcement interrupts his thoughts. Group 1, it's your turn. He focuses, reminding himself not to overthink Elia's involvement, it's part of the main scenario. Just then, another system notification informs him of a character update. Eleanor Tristan's trust level has reached 2. A character event is about to occur. Eleanor steps forward, introducing herself as the exam's overseer. He's shocked. This doesn't feel like a coincidence. Her event was supposed to happen today, and now she's here. He thinks that if nothing happens, it'll be more than strange. The day before, professors at the academy discussed his victory. They decided that if he truly had such skill, he should be tested in the class exam, and gave authority to the student president. Now, Eleanor stands before them, instructing students to follow her to the exam location. She says the questions will be revealed once they arrive. Many speculate a great deal of preparation went into this. Quietly, they follow her. As they enter the hallway, the lights suddenly go out. Darkness fills the area. The students are stunned. Elia, sensing something, asks Eleanor if this is part of the test. Eleanor remains silent. Dodd watches carefully. The entrance is sealed, and lights are gone. Then, a system notification appears. Eleanor's event has begun. He suspects this isn't a test, it's a trap. Another notification follows. Event type, assassination attempt. Surviving members of the Grove still target her. He's instructed to protect her. Scanning the room, he notices students whispering, unsure what to do. Some consider leaving but remain uncertain. He suddenly realizes, these students are all part of the main character's core party. This is the scene where they all meet. He calmly suggests heading to the central hall. Others look at the map, surprised it's there. Dodd explains the hall likely has supplies and emergency gear, and more importantly, space to defend against an ambush. His words make the group take notice. He tells Eleanor and Elia they must have felt it too, they're not alone. Then, he says he's going somewhere else. The group is surprised. Elia questions him seriously, asking why he'd leave. He responds calmly that it's necessary, though he can't explain yet. He promises to clarify later but insists this is the right move. Trusting him, they head to the central hall with Eleanor. Dodd walks down a quiet hallway. Maybe Eleanor's presence gave his words more weight. For now, he plans to stay hidden. The target is Eleanor, not him. If he avoids attention, he'll be fine. But someone calls to him. A vaguely threatening man appears, claiming he's here to fix the power issue and asking Dodd to guide him, saying his vision is impaired. Just then, Dodd receives another system notification. A dangerous situation is detected. On the other side, under Eleanor's leadership, the group reaches the Grand Hall. As soon as they arrive, one of the girls, visibly anxious, turns to Elia. Her voice trembles as she asks if Elia truly believes Dodd will be fine on his own. Elia remains calm and answers without hesitation. Whatever he's doing, there must be a reason, he wouldn't have gone off alone otherwise. Then, As if sensing something deeper, she adds that it's not just him they should be worried about. Something bad could just as easily happen to them. Meanwhile, down a hallway away from the others, Dodd leads the stranger forward. The man walks beside him, silently reflecting on how Elnor managed to eliminate the advance party. But he admits such a feat wouldn't have been possible if Dodd hadn't come here. Even the boy was fooled with little effort. As they walk, Dodd casually says the equipment room is just ahead. The man, a trained killer, evaluates Dodd's movements and quickly dismisses him as a rookie. There's no urgency, he decides he'll toy with him before killing him. Suddenly, Dodd turns and looks directly at him. Caught off guard, the man removes his mask and tells Dodd it's time he rewarded him. Dodd takes a breath and thanks God. Everything is going according to plan. The man is Hashmid. If it had been someone stronger, this could have gone wrong. Dodd feels genuine relief. He states that Hashmid's gait, subtle movements, and even his rhinitis confirm his identity. Hashmid doesn't understand what Dodd is talking about and feels a flicker of unease. Still, convinced Dodd is weak, he charges. Back in the Grand Hall, a different battle unfolds. A student in red cuts through an enemy. Around him, it's clear these enemies are weaker than expected. Elia gives an order, Palkas is told to freeze them. She's worried about Elnor. At the room's center, Elnor moves like a shadow. In one swing, 4 enemies slam into the wall, the stone cracking. She drags another and calmly asks if there are more deployed in the building. A mage completes a spell, freezing the rest in frost. The man under her blade panics and confesses everything. The name Hashmid of the Crescent Moon emerges. Elnor asks if he's inside the building. The man hesitates, then says he can't reveal that. She stomps his face into the ground and asks again, is the man posing as a student truly an ascension? Finally, he says yes, he came with them. Elia steps forward, asking who would go this far. Elnor answers simply, they tried to kill her. Hashmid is an ascension who can copy others after killing them. Then she asks, who would be the easiest target in this building? Elia thinks. Her thoughts drift toward Dodd. The realization hits, he used himself as bait. She doesn't understand why. He had no reason to risk himself, they were after Elnor. What is his relationship with her? Elnor speaks again. They're nothing to each other, or so she says. Elia doesn't respond. Far from them, Dodd and Hashmid fight. And now Hashmid is losing, badly. This shouldn't be happening. Hashmid, a trained killer, begins to panic. The Guardian Soul activation makes no sense. It only reacts to weapons, yet Dodd holds a wooden staff. Hashmid falls, body broken. His voice shakes as he speaks. He says Dodd used him, that he was just a pawn. No one really knows who Dodd is. The system responds, deadly charm activated. Hashmid realizes the truth. It wasn't chance. Dodd led him here. Hashmid tells him to finish it. Dodd quietly says he won't kill him. Hashmid is stunned. He demands to know why. Dodd says to spread the word, stay away from Lady Tristan. Remind them that even Hashmid barely survived. He doesn't know who sent the order, but if they try again, the gray demon inside Elnor might awaken. That must be avoided. Hashmid listens. Then, almost amused, he asks what Dodd will do if he returns. Dodd answers without hesitation, then try again. I'll be there too, protecting her. Hashmid asks if Lady Tristan is truly that important to him. Dodd looks at him steadily and says, yes. The system responds again, deadly charm activated. The villain's favorability rises sharply. As Dodd turns to walk away, he freezes. From the shadows, Elnor approaches, her eyes locked on him.